Hey, I wasn't even sure if I should make this video. The part of me saying I'm not in the right place, another part saying who you are to talk about the mental health. But maybe that's why actually I need to make this video because I'm going through this journey and I want to share with you guys about this journey. And if you resonate with this, you can watch this video and I hope it's helpful for you. So I've been struggling with mental health for over a decade, but the thing is that I never go deep inside and I didn't read the books, didn't try to figure out what was happening with me, why I was feeling this way, why I was like stuck with a toxic mindset, toxic people around me, and everything around was like so exhausted. Sometimes I feel too tired of myself. Sometimes I felt like just like, what is wrong with you? Why are you feeling this way? Why you're not as a normal human being? Why other people feeling different but you feel this way? And when you also raised in a toxic environment, in a toxic family, when people not supporting you, they dismissing you, they talking to you that you are overthinking, just don't be too naive, don't think too much and everything's gonna be all right. But you're not alone in this. Last year was a breaking point in my life. 2 years ago, I moved out from a family. 1 year ago, I separated with my partner. Before I had this mentality when I just like need to push hard, just work hard to figure out the things. But then my nerve system is give up. For a couple of months, like 4 months, I was like struggling get up from bed. I was struggling to do simple things like cook a meal, go to the gym, do the work. Sometimes I even still struggling with the work because when I'm sitting, my nerve system like blocking me, that fight or flight response inside of me, just giving me that feeling that go to relax, do not do these things. And I was like overwhelming, and gradually day by day, I'm trying to become more better and better. And I'm not pushing myself that hard. I'm doing the things that I can do. When you going from the background, when you seeing that on Instagram, on YouTube, the people saying you need to be self-disciplined, you need to push harder, you need to make yourself more stronger, just like keep resilient, and without proper knowledge and proper understanding that everyone's journey is unique and different, everybody's nerve system is different, everyone's mental health is different, you will just like buy this kind of thing, like this people so strong, resilient, so I need to push myself hard. And yeah, I was like this. I was like waking up 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. I was like a robot every day. Wake up, do the things on the schedule, just check, and just one day I burned out. It just like break me because the nerve system is dysregulated. The traumas that we have inside and carrying inside of ourselves, everything is affecting us. And if we not deal with these things, we just like cannot manage our life. Sometimes mental breakdowns is so harsh that you cannot navigate your life. You just want to lie down in the bed, and that's not bad. You need to take a rest. You need to put yourself to heal your body. You need to heal your mental health. You need to heal your nerve system, because without proper health, without proper nerve system, you would just like burn out. And the things that helped me, there was like a couple of things that every day implemented in my life so I can get in better and better every time and every day. And one of the things is actually eating proper nutritional food, because our gut health is very important to our system, to our body. Because if we feed our microbiome with a good nutritional food, we feed our gut bacteria, then we're gonna have less anxiety, less depression, and less stress. There's gonna be always gonna have some pain in our life, but when you manage your body good, you're gonna be better. You're gonna be more energetic. You will have less anxiety, less depression. 90% of the hormone serotonin is like making in the gut. And serotonin basically responsible for our mental health, is responsible for happiness. When people eating processed food, when people eat sugar, when people eat food that actually just killing us or destroying us, the gut bacteria is in a very unhealthy state, and your mind also is gonna be in an unhealthy state. And when the things come to the food that I eat, basically I'm trying to eat like a lot of whole foods. Of course, I will eat some that I like. Most likely every day I will try to eat a lot of vegetables, a lot of fruits, cereal. Those things is feeding microbiome. Also, fermented food is very good for your microbiome and for your gut health, like kimchi, sauerkraut, Greek yogurt, kefir, because they're feeding our microbiome. And when our microbiome is more healthier, then basically you're gonna be more happy and you will have less anxiety, less depression, less stress. And of course, another thing is very important is sleep, because especially when you have dysregulated nerve system and your mental health in a very hard condition. You will feel anxiety, you will feel depression. When you are sleeping, your nervous system is regulating, your emotions is processing in your body. Our body is very smart, and when you are like going to sleep and there's a unprocessed emotions, our body helping us to process those emotions. Sometimes it can even come with vivid dreams, like, and in those vivid dreams you will figure out some things that actually need to change in your life. And when you sleep less, you're more likely will have irritations, you will be sad, you will be anxious. When you sleep less, you have more fear in your mind. But when you sleep good, you actually will have better memory, better focus, better self-control. And one of the things that's actually helped me so much is like before sleep, like 3-4 hours before sleep, I will not eat food already. And another thing, I stopped to drink coffee because coffee actually made me very anxious and I felt like my heart jumping pretty much. And also it give a lot of boost of dopamine. You drink more, you want more, like giving you that addiction. And I cannot think clearly because your emotions not stable. You feel more fear, you feel more anxiety. What I see for myself, matcha is helping me a lot because it's actually relaxing me. Although I drink caffeine because in matcha I have caffeine, but it's not affecting me as coffee affected me. And even sometimes before sleep, I can drink matcha, I will still feel fresh next morning and I can sleep pretty easy because it's relaxing me. Another thing is I'm trying to go outside every day so I can have some natural sunlight. So my circadian rhythms is regulated and I actually feel much better. And also before sleep, I can sometimes like walk outside and maybe walk for 20-30 minutes. I will sleep much better. Also before sleep, you can create some routine. It can be go to the warm shower because warm shower will relax your body. Can drink some warm tea. And one of the things also to help me with regulate my mental health is basically cleaning the space at home. Because before I was living with the 3 cats and with my partner and there was like fur everywhere. I felt for myself like I was so much irritated and so much anxious because for me, I feel like when the home is not clean, my mind will be not clean. So when you clean the space, when you clean the home, you feel more fresh, you feel more relaxed. The mind will not constantly thinking that, oh, there's something I need to clean there, I need to wash dishes or I need to clean the floor or things like that. Because when you have tidy room, you feel you have more sense of control. When you structure your room, when you structure everything, when you have some structure in your life, then you will feel more peace and you will have less anxiety, less depression. I use Google Calendar and I just structure everything in my life. Like I structure the home, I mean to have a clean home. I structure the thoughts by just writing down in a journal or a structure schedule, like for example, 4 things that I need to do per day. And I'm trying to make all of them, but if I cannot, then it's okay, it's fine. I'm a human being, but I'm just like trying to do the important things that will help me and I'm not focusing on other things. Right now, I'm trying also avoid the phone because when you focus on the Instagram, when you focus on the TikTok, you can stuck for hours and watch that. And also the boost of dopamine, after the boost of dopamine, you just feel like you don't want to do anything after that. You just want to lie down on sofa and check your phone. People surrounding you can affect so much your mental health. They don't need to like be bad or just like complain to you, be angry with you, arguing with you. Just their presence in your life can affect your mental health so much. When I just like having a phone calls with a friend and after the phone call, I feel the conversation was like empty and I feel drained. Although the conversation was not some negative, it was like normal conversation, but after that conversation, I just feel empty. I feel like depressed. I feel like that conversation was for nothing, you know, like I rather spend time by myself, do some meaningful things because you need to have a people around you who will bring some energy, like good energy to you. When you like talk with them and after the meeting with those people, meeting with those friends, check yourself. Do you feel like energetic? Do you feel like inspired or you feel empty or you feel drained? Because sometimes there can be that unbalanced energetic exchange. Like you give yourself, but you not get back the energy. So basically you give out, but you not receive and have that emptiness. And some of the friends or family family, for myself right now. I stopped to communicate with my mom. It's not mean don't love them or you abandon them. You can love people, but from the far place, because you need to prioritize your mental health and your mental well-being. This is your life and you need to choose. You want that life with draining energy, draining people around you, or you want to have that peaceful life, that energetic life, that life with the people who inspire you around you. Every person need to have a space for growth, and maybe in those relationships you have right now, you're not growing and that person not growing. So when you release those people from your life, when you release and detach from the things that draining you, they taking that mental space from you, you will have a more space for the new people, new things that will not drain you but will give you more inspiration, that will grow with you together. Every time when I'm right now like talking with the people, every time after conversation I check myself, is it I feel drained or not? And if I feel drained, I ask myself why. I every time do the reflection, because everything comes from awareness. Before, when you live on autopilot, you even don't know you get drained just because you communicate with somebody. Some people can be like energy vampires. They can just drain the energy from you. Some people overstepping your boundaries. To be aware about the things that draining you, it can be the friend, it can be a partner, it can be the family member, it can be your job, it can be the business, it can be that identity that you are so stick to it. When the time is to move on, when the time's to change it, we are too much clinged to it. We are trying to stick to that identity that we was before, but it's not helping us to grow. It's not helping us to change ourselves. If we want to change, we need to release. We need to learn to release and detach from the things that not serving us anymore. And what I mean about also letting go the things that not serving us is also our emotions. There's a lot of trauma that's suppressed inside of our body and need to be released. But what society is saying, that we need to suppress our emotions, we don't need to listen to our emotions, we don't need to feel our emotions, we need to suppress them. And if you're from a background that parents were saying like crying as a man was bad, you just like grow up with that mentality. Those emotions trying to surface, go out on the surface, and when you process them, when you release them, you will have more peace, you will have more clarity for that. Those traumas affecting so much is affecting our mental health, and is also affecting our physical health. More traumas you suppress inside of yourself, the more ill you're gonna be. What I realized for myself when I start to go into the journey of healing and heal my diseases and things like that, a lot of things I try and those things helped me, but those symptoms is back and back and back. And why was that? Because my mental health was not in the right place. Our nerve system in a fight or flight response, and body thinking that we're facing a threat, but actually we don't face anything, but the body is still in a fight or flight. This is affecting our hormone of stress, the cortisol, and we basically getting more ill. A lot of times, like when I process my emotions, going through diary, because when you write it down in the diary, you can see more, you can have more structure thinking, and you will feel like, what is wrong with me? Why I feel like this in this way? I sitting down with the diary and I would just write like, I feel sad, why I feel sad, and my brain will show me which kind of things I have. Sometimes it can be like the trauma from past years, like even 10-20 years ago, when you memorize and there was something that you was like suppressed, and those emotions need to process and go outside. That was not processed, they was stuck in our body. When you're writing down the diary, you can write down as you want. You can write down how many pages you want. You just write it down, put everything what you're thinking. Eventually you will process those emotions. You will feel like tears going out, you feel shaking sometimes. This is how trauma releasing from your body. But it's not always about just the processing emotions. Sometimes it can be your thoughts and limited beliefs. When you teach yourself how to be more aware about your thoughts and about your belief system creating our reality. And what is beliefs? Beliefs is basically the thought that was like repeated over and over and over again. And this is your belief system. When you feel sometimes fear, or when you feel anxiety, or when you feel stress, because you have some specific thought inside of your head. When you becoming more self-aware, you creating space between your thought and creating space between yourself. So you're not living on an autopilot and react on your like fear, on your anxiety, on your depression. There's a lot of binge eating. Like people binge eat a lot because they feel stressed, they live on an autopilot, they get up, they go to eat some snack, just eat, it's helped them, and they go back. But it's actually not healthy, because first of all, you're just like keep binge eating, you keep eating the food when you don't need to eat. Your stomach not process the previous food you eat, and you again eating another food. A lot of times when you binge eating, you eat a lot of sweet, sugary food. The food is not healthy and it spike your insulin level. In the long run, it's actually affecting your health. And when you're more self-aware, what I realized for myself, when I'm like more self-aware, I creating that distance between the trigger. The trigger can be like, for example, I'm sitting, suddenly I feel stress, the trigger already happening, and I getting up and I go to like eat something, for example, right? Next time when I'm like, how this trigger, like I felt stress, I feel that trigger, but I'm not acting on it. It's not gonna be very fast. Like every small step will help you more and more be separated from that trigger. Right now, I'm in a place when sometimes when I feel like angry or I feel stressed or I feel some kind of emotion and I feel that and I feel, oh, this trigger again, and I'm not acting on it. I'm trying as much as possible because you're changing your neuroplasticity and you're teaching your brain and you're teaching your body, then you don't need to react on that trigger. There was an experiment when people in a laboratory, there was like smokers, heavy smokers, and in 1 month they was like teaching them that like you don't need to react on a trigger. And eventually they stopped to smoke the cigarettes because they was more self-aware about the trigger and they didn't react on that trigger. And naturally, slowly, step by step, those like triggers losing their power over you and you become more self-control over it. So when you have a fearful thoughts, ask yourself like, why I feel this fear? Is it true, or this fear is just my thought that repeating over and over again? Eventually you will see that, okay, this is maybe the thought that was affecting me so much during my life, but actually there was just repeated thought, and behind that thought have that fear. So you can change that limited belief. For example, if you thought I'm not worthy enough, right? Or I'm not good enough to make this project. So you can create another thought like I can achieve whatever I put my mind to. And every time the thought appears that like I'm not good enough, you change that thought and thinking like I can achieve whatever I put my mind to. And you keep repeating, and repetition dissolves this belief. And the last tip that I want to share with you guys is basically about regulating your nerve system, because your nerve system affecting your mental health. When you're constantly in dysregulated nerve system, especially if you have sensitive nervous system, because there's a type of people who nerve system is more sensitive than other people, is that some people can be drained faster or their nerve system can be tired faster than other people. There's a thing like you can walk in the nature, because you walk in, you check in the nature, you breathe in that fresh air and you feel more relaxed, in a relaxed, calm state, and it's helping me. Another tip is that like cold shower. When you have a cold exposure to cold shower or just splash the face with the cold water, your nerve system will regulate. And same thing can be with the breathing exercise. Like you can do meditation, you can do breathe exercise for 5-10 minutes. You breathe and you like slowly breathe out. Breathe and slowly breathe out. And this is helping to regulate nerve system. Can be different type of things. Sometimes it can be eating food, like comforting food, something comforting for yourself. But it's not mean like if you feel anger or you feel your nerve system regulated, you run to do these things. You first acknowledge why you feel like this, why you feel this stress, why you feel this anxiety. Name that feeling, like I feel sad, why I feel sad. Then what I need right now to calm down myself. Do I need a warm drink? Do I need to go for a walk? So yeah, guys, thanks for watching this video. Hope you like it. Let me know in the comments if you want to have more of this type of video that I'm sharing my journey, and see you in the next one.